I'll be keeping an eye on you. Understand?
If I choose to kill you, you will not even see it. I smell.
Tiring business, isn't it? All this traveling and adventuring. Why don't we take a little break, hmm? Allow ourselves a few moments of rest? Gives me a chance to talk to you about something, well, rather important. We've been on the road together for a while now, haven't we? Survived some perils, overcame some obstacles. Ever since you were kind enough to free me from that stone, I've seen you demonstrate remarkable guile and courage. The way you diffused the tension between Zevlor and Aradin. The way you stood in front of a crossbow to prevent a murder. The way you got that boy out of a harpy's clutches. In short, I've grown to trust you. The reason I make a point of saying this is that I've grown confident enough to tell you something I've yet to tell another living soul, except for my cat. You see, I have this condition. Very different from the parasite we share, but just as deadly. The specifics are rather personal, but suffice it to say that it is a malady I've learned to live with, though not without some effort. What it comes down to is this. Every so often, I need to get my hands on a powerful magical item and absorb the weave inside. I can say no more on the matter. Not now, anyway. Just trust me when I say it's all of vital importance. It's been days since I last consumed an artifact, since before we were abducted. It's only a matter of time before my craving returns. That is why I turn to you. I need you to help me find magic items to consume. It is vital. Dare I say it? Critical. We've already done the finding. In fact, you have one in your possession. You know for yourself how hard-won such an item was, and it will be no easier when even more are required to assuage my hunger. There'll be danger involved, or great cost. Splendid. Bit of boldness will serve us well. I'm sure we won't have to look very far to find what I need. Faerun overflows with magic-infused treasure. As do our packs, as a matter of fact. We've such an item already in our possession. Primed for the moment the need arises. I hope I can count on you.
Something's wrong. I feel... it hurts. Darkness, protect me. It's difficult for me to talk about. I'm sorry. You're not going to let this go, are you? I worship Shah, the Mistress of the Night. Now that you have the truth, please don't make a big fuss about it.
Heavens forbid. We're all entitled to our secrets.
Forever, ideally. And you assume too much about what I can and cannot tell. Secrecy is everything for Shah's children. It's our code, our creed, our shield. I'm not sorry I kept this from you. Not one bit. Though perhaps that might change, if you can show an open mind. Talk to me later. This day's been long enough already.
The Blade of Frontiers at your calling.
Karlach's fires raged in Baldur's Gate before she escaped to Avernus, as my source told it, and she was planning to return. One of the archdevils Ariel's own, chaos incarnate, a devil with pure fire for a heart. I made my way to Avernus to stop her. She fled from my reach, even climbed aboard the Mind Flayer ship as it screeched through the hells. I followed in close pursuit. I can't bear to imagine the lives Karlach might be taking, the damage she might be doing. A powerful friend with a keen interest in privacy. I'm sworn to say no more. All right. What else is on your mind? My father once said, one does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call. So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse blared into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after. Now, But he named me friend, and that meant the world. But what of the others? The children never saved. The cries never heard. In the boy's tears, I finally saw the suffering wrought by the villains of the wild. The frontiers demanded a blade, and so I heeded. Baldur's Gate, born and raised, the only son of a single father. He wanted one life for me. I chose another. We haven't spoken since I left the city. A classic drama. A staunch father and his rebellious son. Better heard from the bard's lips than mine. A most vicious one, in fact. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days. By all means. I'm up for the challenge. You've just got to make a little space. Ready and willing.
What to do?
Let me guess. You're wondering why I was in pain before. Best if we just get the subject out of the way now. The wound on my hand. It never quite heals. And sometimes it causes terrible pain to rip through me. It's my burden, though, from Lady Shah. I can feel her influence somehow. I cannot say. Not with what I can recall. But even then, it would not be for me to question her will. Lady Shah has her reasons. It's difficult to say. Sometimes I wonder if it's supposed to be guiding me, punishing me, testing me. But perhaps it's none of those. Perhaps it's completely random. I'd like to hope there's more to it than that. Some meaning that Lady Shah will reveal to me when the time is right. Until then, all I can do is endure. It's less difficult than you might imagine.
when you can't remember life without it. Pain is sacred to followers of Lady Shah. Pain will give way to loss and then to the peace of her eternal darkness. You can tolerate a great deal of suffering so long as it has meaning.
There's no story. None that you're entitled to hear, anyway. Just forget you ever saw it. I'm sure you do. But please try to understand that it's not something I can just talk about freely. Very well. Perhaps there's potential in you. Let's see how you handle this. I am indeed a disciple of Shah, Mistress of the Night and Lady of Loss. I assume you've heard of her? Well, if that troubles you, we're in this together. But I'll happily go it alone. My faith will keep me company.
Dance upon the stars tonight. Smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will change. No. Become... More like butchering. Don't know why I bother. No, I'm moments away from a grisly death. At the hands of this bloody song. I can't... Nothing fits, you know? True. And when you finally perfect a song, there's nothing like it. But when you're stuck, and it's just getting worse... Ugh. It can't hurt. My teacher, Lihala. She loved dancing. Had 2 left feet, mind. I remember waking up one night on the road and seeing her dancing beneath the stars. A huge smile on her face. Thinking of it now, my heart hurts. And my words just seem to crumble. Like ash. Wait. Words of mine will turn to ash. That's perfect. Words of mine will turn to ash when you cool the last light down. Yes, yes!
Dance upon the stars tonight. Smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will turn
sorry. She'd have said the same thing. That's the first time I've played since Lihala died. My teacher. She was playing her lute. We didn't hear the gnolls coming. There was so much blood. I can still smell it. It was awful. I couldn't look at a lute without hearing her screaming. I'd forgotten what it was like. That itch to perfect a song. The Weeping Dawn will be my gift to Lihala. I've a long way to go. But thank you. I needed this.
Too sweet. Odiously sweet. The vomitous gall within despairs at your kindness.
What's next, I wonder?
Dance upon the stars tonight. Smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will turn to ash when you pull the last light down. Moon song will remind me of your grace. Faith, care, all the love I can't repair. Moon reminds me of your grace. All the love I can't repair.
Your actions are pushing temp.
Let's move. Pave my path with corpses. Build my castle with bones.
Your aggression has... Your aggression has won...
Defender of the people. The Blade of Frontiers at your calling.
I'd love to join, but I don't think there's enough... I like how...
A hero at heart.
I have such a headache.
Let me get the wound on my hand.
There's no story.
I'm sure you do. But please try to understand that it's not something I can just talk about freely. Very well. I assume you've heard of her? Curious. I think I did well by joining you. Most agreeable company.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please. I'm sorry.
This is madness, Korga. She's just a...
A what, Wrath? A thief? A poison? A threat? I will imprison the devil. And I will cast out every stranger.
A death viper. You've milked their poison before. A single drop of it could kill that child in a heartbeat.
Girl? You mean parasite? She eats our food, drinks our water, then steals our most holy idol in thanks. Wrath, lock her up. She remains here until the rite is complete. And keep still, devil. Tila is restless.
Come, Korga. We took back the idol. Surely...
Do it.
The snake's hiss of approval reveals its intentions. Should the child struggle, it is poised to strike. The death of a child. A timeless tragedy that never grows old.
Very well. I'll defer to your ruling. My circle has offered grace to these outsiders. We gave them shelter from storm. We nourished their bellies. In return, these devils lured in a horde of goblins. And their spawn stole the one relic that might keep us safe. We've taken back our relic. But I will keep the fiend caged till our protection rite is complete.
I was scared. They said when the rite was over we'd have to leave. But there's goblins out there and worse. And it's nice here. So I took the idol. I thought maybe then we could stay. Please let me go. I'll be good, I swear.
Well, Paladin, what say you?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Tila, to me. Out, thief. My grace has its limits.
It hurts.
Thank you, Korga. Master Halsin...
Halsin isn't here. Keep his name off your tongue, lest Tila pierce it.
That mural, they look like dark justiciars.
I didn't realize you were frightened of wolves, Shadow.
The Grove sported some rather interesting murals, I must say. They just reminded me of something half forgotten. It seemed to depict Lady Shah's warriors in combat. I hadn't known they were active in these parts. You know me. I'm not usually one to elaborate if I can avoid it. They looked like dark justiciars, an elite force among Lady Shah's ranks. Only the very finest proved themselves worthy of the title. What right-minded servant of Lady Shah wouldn't? But it's a distant dream. The Dark Justiciars have been silent for years. Curious to see them depicted in such a place. Perhaps there's more to it. But there's nothing to be done about it just now. They're ravenous predators with fangs like daggers. It's hardly an irrational fear to harbor. You've been decent to me so far. Maybe if you can, don't make me face any more of them. At least, not alone. Thank you. I had a feeling you'd be understanding.
The forest rose with claw and tooth to tear the darkness from its roots. Beasts chasing beasts. The forest rose with the mural depicts druid and beast fighting together to drive monsters from their land. It looks like they were victorious, and yet the monsters have returned.
Still alive, so that's progress.
By claw and tooth from root to thorn, the old oak's grove to wildlings sworn. The mural shows druids claiming the grove in the name of the old oak, Sylvanus, god of nature. In darkest hour, a concord made, twixt harp and wild against the shade. Harp and wild? You recall stories of an alliance between druids and the harpers, but the details are vague. The towers seized, the battle done. The moonrise broke the darkest one. The broken helmet bears the mark of Shah, the Dark Lady. And if the darkest one is Shah, Moonrise must be her celestial sister.
Go on. Say it. You think I'm a monster?
Monster? Too kind. A demon, more like.
Yes, you would say so. I know your kind. You see only villains and victims. A viper bears her fangs defending her brood. I call her mother. You call her monster. No matter. I took back the idol of Sylvanus, and the rite is resumed. We will seal the grove, free from harm, free of intruders. The rite of thorns. It is the Tree Father's gift that none come to harm. When we speak the final prayer, the great vine will sprout forth. The grove will be cloaked in bramble and thorn. No one enters, no one leaves. Sanctuary. None of this can happen while Outlanders infect us. Sylvanus demands that we choke them out. And mine perish if he stays. You showed great mettle at the gate. The mettle of a skilled sword for hire. I want you to provide your services to Sevlor. Offer to guide the Outlanders out of the grove. I'm sure they'll reward you well. They're to be gone before final prayer. If they are not, the Viper must strike. You will do more than speak. This tale ends but one way.
we have here?
I see you. Just give me a moment. This medicatrix. There. It's up to her now. Life or death. Now, what was it you needed? I do what I can. For most folks, that's enough. Come here. Let's have a look at you. You seem healthy enough. A bit tired around the eyes, maybe. A tadpole. A mind flayer tadpole. That's a serious condition. Come, follow me. I might be able to help. We need to be quick. This way.
There's something in that
This one had the same problem as you. Attacked us in the woods together with some goblins. Tadpole crawled out of his head soon after. Seems so. Gave Master Halsin a right start. It's why he joined the adventurers on their expedition. To find out what was happening. A pity you got me instead of him. He understands these things. Studied them. Still, we have options. You don't have to be here for this.
No, I'll stay. I'd rather know exactly what you're up to.
All right. Let's see what we can do. Of course. Now, tell me what's been happening. Any symptoms? Strange events? It recognized you as being infected. Well now, that's something. How'd you pick up the parasite? Halsin was desperate to find where all this was happening. A mind flayer ship? But Master Halsin was sure. Look, you've been straight with me, so I'll be straight with you. You're dangerous. If you transform here, we're all dead. But you seem like a good soul. You deserve a chance to save yourself. This is a vial of wyvern poison. Swear to me, you'll swallow it if you feel any symptoms. The thorn? Coated in a fatal toxin. It was a last resort, in case I couldn't trust you. I don't have a cure. Only a way out. I'm sorry for misleading you, but I had to be sure you weren't a threat before I told you everything. Now, do I have your word or not? I hope it doesn't come to that, but thank you. Here. You know, I've spent my life treating folk and never once saw a mind flayer infection. Then suddenly, there's dozens of you. Maybe more. Master Halsin and I were tracking them, studying them, trying to figure out what the hells was going on. Because you should all be changing. There should be a small army of mind flayers out there. But you're not. Weird powers aside, you seem perfectly normal. Mind flayers reproduce by infecting someone with their parasite. 7 gruesome days later, the victim transforms and a new mind flayer is born. The thing in your skull, though, it's different to anything in our records. It's one of their worms for sure. But this one gives you powers, telepathic connections. And it doesn't turn you into one of them. Not yet, anyhow. Could be, but there's a lot we don't know. Infected, folks like you, have been converging on an old temple of Selûne. And I've no idea why. When Master Halsin heard the adventurers were heading that way, he saw a chance to get answers. Joined on the spot. Whatever he found there, he didn't make it back. The thing is, I've sent birds to find him, but the place is rotten with goblins. None of us can even get close. You, though, you're one of them. Technically speaking, I mean. They won't kill someone carrying their parasite. If you can find Halsin and get him out of there, we can discover what he learned. And perhaps he can save your life. How's that sound? Thank you. It would mean everything to the Grove. To me. I wish I could tell you more. But only those adventurers know what happened out there. All I can say for sure is they all went to the old temple of Selûne. And Master Halsin didn't make it back. Good luck out there. And if things start to go bad, remember the vial. Remember your oath.
One step at a time, Nettie. Come on.
Pretty boy. But I wouldn't take wyvern poison even if we do begin to turn.
Find our master. Return to me then. Tell me what you find. Tell only me. Understand?
The hero at home.
Fly quick. Fly safe.
And, well, in it.
He stares right past you, as if you're invisible. Or boring. He nods, then reaches for a concealed hatch.
Well, look who's come to visit. My kids say you've been busy since you got here. I heard you helped Melly with that locket. I owe you for that. Mercon says you got him out of a tight spot with some harpies. Gotta say, I'm impressed. You saved Arabella from the Druids. Don't know what those bastards would have done. And we're happy to be helped. Now, what can I do for you? We're saving up for a better hideout when we get to Baldur's Gate. Why? You planning on telling me stealing is wrong? Won't turn down free money. I've got operating costs you wouldn't believe. Come see me and see you around. I had a feeling you'd be back. You've been a friend.
Bet I can crack that open.
When did I get the game film stand? Sylvie needs to practice. You'll be out there soon enough. Don't get too attached to that con, kids. I've got bigger plans for the city.
You ever scare me like that again, and I'll feed you to a knoll.
Mom, I'm fine. Stop it.
Our little Hellion told us what happened. Thank you. Don't know what we'd do without her. Likewise. Arabella?
Thank you for helping me. Stop. I was fine.
My mother was a heartbeat away from fighting a bear.
No hope of clearing this without a shovel.
They look like scribes, despite the weapons. No surprise that they died then.
I wonder what was so subversive about their words that they commanded protection. Looks like someone wanted to bury their secrets.
This book is far lighter than it should be with such a massive lock. As the lock opens, a loose page comes with it. Magic pulses from the parchment. What was once script is now an obliterated scrawl. You have a sense these are names, a list. But of what? Gods. These are the names of gods, once lost but now restored after the Second Sundering. The last three names in this book sit close together, but are so devastated by the scrawl as to be unreadable. Entire pantheons have dwindled and been reborn, silently recorded by this book.
Jurgle. This must be ancient. No one worships the final scribe anymore.
Something over there.
Woke up down here. Let them come. The darkness can be to our advantage.
Shall we cut and run? Outmaneuver them.
What's the plan? On I go.
Don't waste a step.
Finding my way. I'm ready.
My faith will protect me. Got to press on.
wonder if this is worth the cost.
Making my move.
A lot of effort to hide one sarcophagus.
Here lies the guardian of tombs. Through knowledge comes atonement.
So he has spoken, and so thou standest before me. Right, as always. What a curious way to awaken. Now, I have a question for thee. What is the worth of a single mortal's life? Curiosity. Nothing more. Wilt thou answer my question? So, I ask again, what is the worth of a single mortal life? In death, that is so. Very well. I am satisfied. We have met, and I know thy face. We will see each other again at the proper time and place. Farewell.
You know what I really miss about Baldur's Gate? The
food. Freshest fish I've ever had.
I don't care for fish. Red meat. Now, that's a different matter.
These
Rare as can be.
Squat.
Dripping.
Bow-legged. Goblins, I'd say.
People up ahead. Something's wrong.
You're a true soul. You can't die. Please, stay with us.
I don't think he's conscious. Can you hear us, Ed?
You, not a step closer.
A strange symbol glows, marked on their flesh, and something within you stirs in response.
He's hurt badly. An owlbear got him deep. If there's anything you can do...
I'm watching you.
The injured man locks eyes with you. A familiar squirming churns in your head. Your minds intertwine. You see his siblings, Andric and Brenna, new recruits, yours to shepherd.
Protect them. They are a true soul. Mind them. They will... They...
Edwin! Ed! Please!
He's with the Absolute now. You're a true soul. Edwin, our brother, he was chosen. Like you. Do you have orders for us? We were reporting to Edwin.
Sorry about that, chat. I had to go change over laundry.
What? Are you testing us? The Absolute is our goddess. She's going to rip down the old world order, start a new one. Then we'll be the ones with the power. Well, you will firstly, True Soul. You don't need me to explain that.
A true soul, like you, has been chosen by the Absolute. You speak with her voice, and when the time comes, you will rule.
That fellow was infected like us. Is this the mark of a true soul?
We know that all too well. But the Absolute sent us here.
We're looking for fugitives, survivors from that ship that crashed farther west of here.
I'm sorry, True Soul. I only repeated what I thought I knew. It seems the Absolute still has a great deal to teach me.
What?
It killed one of us. It killed Edwin. It's an enemy of the Absolute. You're right. The beast must be destroyed.
The cave is just ahead. It was too much for us before, but if you could help us, True Soul, we may stand a chance.
They spoke of the Absolute. Same as that goblin, Zaza. Curious.
Seems like a popular little deity, whoever they are.
Strange power resonates within the corpse. It calls to you. Most corpses feel like toys before you, to be played with and discarded when you tire. This body seems different. A friend calls out from the corpse, desperate to be freed. Why let its host's memories go to waste? The tadpole has absorbed it all. Its experience could nourish you, strengthen you.
As much love as I hold for Baldur's Gate, these frontiers delight me as much as any bustling street.
You can't be serious. This is a howling wasteland. I haven't even had a bath since the abduction. I must reek of illicit slime.
Sure, but think of the stories you'll be able to tell.
Owlbear track. Its nest must be nearby.
That stench. Dead owlbear prey, no doubt.
You feel the quake of its heavy footsteps before you see it. An owlbear, its beaked face looming out of the darkness.
Moving.
Step quick.
Forever dauntless, fleet of foot.
Time for some bloody work.
Imperative.
This feels good. Let's do it.
Battle favors the fearless.
This isn't good.
Cub looks from you to his dead mother. A single strike will end his suffering.
It hurts.
You watch, speechless, as the cub begins to eat his mother.
The cub has a fighting chance now.
That, or we've just prolonged its misery.
Mercy. Of course.
I can keep going a little longer now.
training those children. You're so gentle. That's not how I was taught.
Cruel words strengthen neither heads nor hearts, Shadowheart.
I wouldn't quite say that. I learned a lesson, after all.
And came to resent your tutor, I bet. I taught them to fight, not to hate. Well met.
So, Will, what was the Blade of Frontier's toughest kill?
Ah, it was a great scrap. A hungry minotaur with a hankering for human flesh. An axe-bearing mountain of fur she was.
The dog lowers his hackles, his head tilted inquisitively. Convinced that you're harmless, he turns his attention back to the corpse. Around his neck is a collar, etched with a name. Scratch. With a deep, heartbroken whine, the dog bows his head. The dog looks at his owner with sad eyes. He does not move. The dog sniffs your hand, his tail swung low in understanding. He knows how to find you.
Don't touch me.
So, Will with a Y. Why?
Why? That's right.
But why?
Why? A great uncle's name, my father said. But I just figured he couldn't spell.
Sharp as ever.
Never a dull moment. A key. Wonder what it opens.
One horn. The stink of Avernus. Advocatus Diaboli.
Well, I'll be God's damned. The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you. Bloody right. An honor to be chased by the Blade of Frontiers, but I...
A great heat roars through you, her heat, fiery as the hells. Then you're lost in visions of demonic armies as you tear through a landscape of fire and blood, the Blood War. You saw it from above as the Nautiloid passed through Avernus. This woman was on the front line.
What was that?
Evidence. Proof that you're a devil. A gladiator in the archdevil Zariel's army.
I can explain, but it's a whole situation. If you just hear me out...
Another vision. Karlach's blade raised, slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. Her rage and desperation seep into you. She is a victim of the Blood War, not an agent of it.
She's trying to trick us. Don't believe her lies.
You saw the truth. I never wanted to serve Zariel. I was enlisted in her army against my will. Forced to fight, and fight I did. When I saw an opportunity to get away, I took it. Finally home. Or near it, anyway.
You served her. That's enough to damn you.
Will catches his breath and his lips straighten. Sheer dread twists his face.
You don't know what you're saying. You're asking me to trust a devil.
Listen to sense now. I don't want this to end badly for either of us. You know monsters, right? Better than anyone. Look into my eyes. Can't you see I'm not what you think?
Shit. You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Oh, thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today.
Truce then, eh?
Aye. Truce.
I'm Karlach, but you already knew that. And you are... Well met, soldier. Nice to meet a friendly around here. It's been tough going so far. I may not be a devil, but I can put the Blade's reputation to work. How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards? Little background, if your moral compass needs something to point at. You already know I fought in the Blood War. I was good. Really good. Turns out, I've got a knack for killing demons. That made me a valuable asset. Zariel, the archdevil herself, made me as her personal attack dog. I played along until I could get the fuck out of there. But devils don't like to lose their assets. Zariel liked it so little. She sent a bunch of goons, so-called paladins of Tyr, to take me back. Problem is, I'm not going. Fuck yes! They cornered me outside the toll house just up the hill. Doubt they've gone far after the scorching I gave them. Then we can work on evicting this parasite and take Faerun by their short hairs. Sound good? I'd hug you if it wouldn't scorch your skin off. No room in your party. What should I do?
I would object, but sitting by the fire while you do all the hard work sounds marvelous, actually.
Excellent. Let's go.
Come on, let's go.
So, Will, now that we've made peace, how about we get to know each other properly? What's your story?
Not so much a story as a pantomime. And I've played my part all too poorly.
Go on. We're listening.
It means that a reckoning's coming. And I'll be the one to pay up.
You make it sound like a harvest of devils coming for your throat.
You're closer than you know. One night soon when we make camp, the veil will be lifted, and I'll face my penance. You're not in any danger, I promise. I can't say the same about me.
What can I do you for? Trust me, I'll tell you all about it after we take care of the goons on my tail. Depends on the type. Ice devils hate an inferno, but that's an easy one. Orthons love projectiles. What they don't love is getting their bombs lobbed right back in their faces. Demons, on the other hand, every demon is absolutely singular. You can't ever think you've got them typed out. Sharp instincts, sharp weapons, and a knack for improvisation. That's the only way to survive them. Anyway, what were we talking about? Funny you should ask. I was just thinking about what would have become of us without that Nautiloid. I mean, I know where I'd be. Trapped in Avernus still, with the Blade of Frontiers on my tail. But what about you?
Oh, man. Lucky you. That's the dream. Maybe when this is all done, you can show me where you came from. My family home's long gone, but I'll show you my favorite chow hall in the city, if it's still standing.
What's the story? I don't think so. At least, I still remember everything. In more detail than I wish. But, as for what's going on in your mind, maybe in mine, I'm certain there are answers out there. We'll find them together. Well, look. You've said it, right out loud. That takes guts. The guts you'll need to change. Or at least make sure you're channeled in the right direction. I've got enough enemies who could do with a good bloodletting, you know?
I'm so glad I found... Wait! I'm Althira, a bard from the Grove. I don't mean any harm. I know who you are. How could I not? You're all anyone in the Grove talks about. That's why I'm here. When I'd heard what you'd done, it inspired me. Made me feel brave again. I want to join you. To fight by your side. I want to help people. As you've helped us. I've been running since El Turel. And when we finally arrived at the Grove, we found danger there too. Unless I hide away from the world, I can't avoid it. So I'd rather face it head on. With you. Really? Just like that? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I won't let you down. I promise.
We meet again, as predicted. I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my services. There are many answers to that question. None are important.
is a great divine energy indeed, but the source is unclear.
Beyond mortal realms, there doth exist an amalgamation of spirits akin to thine own, ensnared by the treacherous cult of the Absolute, felled in its name. They bear great discontentment with their destiny. For a mere pittance of coin, I might summon the worthiest among them to lend aid to thy undertaking. Should thou or any of thy compatriots perish, I will cleave soul to body once more. Because it is my calling. There is little else to explain. A matter of coin. Fate, dost thou require a new ally? Or
Should I write a song? No, they'd probably find it annoying.
You open your eyes with a lurch, and you are not in your bed. You stand above a body which is in a state of gore nearly beyond recognition. The body of that brave girl who earnestly swore to devote her life to your cause. Her blood covers you, and its warmth feels like the embrace of an old friend. You recall nothing of how you ended up here, but your head pounds and aches. A single moment comes to you, the flash of abject terror in her eyes, blood spilling from her lips. No time for last words. There are dozens and dozens of wounds on the corpse. The killer did not stop savaging it, even when she was long gone. And your dominant arm aches. It aches from stabbing over and over. No matter how it appears, the body is there, and her blood is on your hands. The question flows through your mind. Who are you, really, that you could be guilty of such bitter business? Something wicked must have woken you. The contemptible pervert within must have lavished slash after slash upon the girl. But where, oh where could that monster have come from? If only you knew yourself better. You don't have much time for reflection now. You need to act. You may only have a few moments before the others awaken and begin to cast blame for the hot sin before you. Her guts start to spill and flow everywhere as you shift her. You wonder if your misdeed will be noticed.
Another waif dead before her time. I wonder how it happened. She was brutalized. The killer knifed her many times after she was dead. Was it you?
It is dangerous, wandering around at night. You could bump into anything.
Your guilt is safe. For now. As the Inquisition departs, you are left alone with a familiar headache. One more failed adventurer, gone to the mud now.
Hey, we're still going after those paladins, right? Can't leave Zariel's bruisers roaming the coast. Good news. Can't wait to see them finished.
it out. Please, no more. Leave us in peace, and we shall leave you in kind.
Cut the crap, Anders. I know what you are.
Don't let her hurt us. Please, we just want to go home.